Monday, September 30th, market analysis, Stan Ehrlich, 10 o'clock California time. Good morning. Well, we haven't got a lot to say about the stock market indexes so far today because they're just floundering around approximately unchanged. Just a matter of seconds ago, we were a little bit lower on the E-mini, S&P. Other indexes are not significantly higher or lower. So let's go through them and quickly update. Remember, tomorrow is October 1st. Sometime during October, and I am looking for a break at least down to 54.50. I think would be real reasonable during this month, and it could be a lot larger than that. Originally, months ago, I was expecting a lot more, but this market has gone up in the last few weeks. Big surprise to me. Although I did get a buy signal, I didn't expect it personally. Now overbought. Thursday is a key day. Didn't do too much, close lower on Friday, and we've made a minor new low for a couple days, and we're just barely unchanged now, down 1.25, nothing, a few ticks. So let's look at the 1 minute, and it is just simply going up and down and up and down, and a little bit lower, and then all the way back up to. So it is pretty much not decided what to do here, but there is a little bit of a bearish tinge to this. And I am, as you know, looking for a break and a low to buy with a signal, I hope, like the last few years, in October. Again, 1993 to date, 31 years. We only had 3 years where it wasn't in October, and it was very close. Late September or very early November. So October holds fond memories of picking major turning points historically for me, and therefore I'm expecting it again. Over 90% historically correct. Doesn't guarantee we're going to do it again this year. Doesn't guarantee a thing, but the odds are pretty good. I like them. And we got overbought. So, and not on the spider. That's one of the ones that didn't get overbought on Thursday. Came very close to it. It did get overbought on September 19th, and we did make a higher high, but it just fell a bit, and we're basically unchanged. Next, few-minute chart. Again, a little bit of a bearish tinge to today so far, but basically nothing there. So what about the QQQ? The NASDAQ did make a new low today, lower than Thursday and Friday, was overbought both Thursday and Friday in a resistance area. So that's one of the combinations I like a lot, overbought conditions in a resistance area. And it is starting to slip a bit. Right now, you see it's up very small amount. Other than some kind of a big bullish reversal or a huge rally, I don't even expect a test of the highs at 493 something, and I am looking for lower lows. I'm hoping I'm going to get a bearish engulfing. If we have a light or small trading range today, which we have so far, and then tomorrow we pop up a little bit above today's high and then drop like a rock, that could give us our red bearish engulfing. Unfortunately, it won't be the top of the market, and we do get these signals sometimes very close to the lowest lows or at the exact highs. Next, QQQ, not much here. Open, popped up a little, dropped to a slight new low, came back and going sideways. And the daily data chart on the NQ, today's low is lower overnight than the previous 2 days. They were both overbought. It's doing what I would expect, but I haven't got any major signals at this point. A little disappointed in that. We got a great buy signal here. We got a great buy signal here. They look very much alike. And we got a sell signal on the highest day of the move. And so far, the highest day, as well as this high here. So the NASDAQ, has been providing some great signals. Highest day, lowest day, highest day, almost the lowest day. That's the high of a small break. That didn't work very well. That one and that one, both 3 in a row, didn't work. And this one did work modestly well. So lately, it's been great. Next, detail, 1 minute, NASDAQ, NQ. Hey, what can I say? Sideways. Let's get on to interest rates in a moment. the YM, the Dow. Friday was its overbought day, not Thursday. And for a couple of days, there was something really unusual going on. We were looking at one or two indexes down and down relatively significantly, making new lows. And at the same moment, the YM was making new highs for the session. Very unusual. Net higher on the day, no less, and the others were net lower. So anyway, Friday's a high day, overbought, and it's now slipped a little below Friday's lows. But we really need to close or start closing below 42,200, let's say. Next, detail, not much to say. Next, the Russell, it's in its own little world, but it did get overbought in resistance. Again, one of my favorite combinations, like it did before and many times again. So it could very well start slipping today so far up a little in a doji and the Russell short term. Now, bonds. So far, so good. I drew this line on September 24th or the day before, and it is supposed to be depicting what I expect prices or interest rate levels, yields, whatever, this chart to do, and to come down into my green circle, which is during October, and the middle of the circle would be just incredibly good. But anywhere vertically in the circle, as long as it's in October, I hope down into that time frame. So then up above, straight up after October, because not necessarily the October lows, but because it would fulfill a retracement back to the neckline on the single shoulder, head and shoulder bottom formation. That's the first shoulder, that's the head, and there is the last shoulder low. There's the neckline across the pivot points, and we broke out. Now coming back here to here would be still be above the neckline, but we have a brand new neckline to be considering across the same pivot point to begin with. And I should raise this one just a squeak here. Yeah, there we go. Well, all right, a little more perfect there. Okay, so didn't change anything. The neckline secondary is if we get a low in October down here, the timing will still be great for the October of 22, the head of the formation October of 23, and coming up, I hope, crossing my fingers, expecting a break and then a move up of some significance. And I've tried to, time and price. October of 24 would be great for a double shoulder, head and shoulder, head and double shoulder on the left, bottom with a new, much more bullish, longer term neckline. We'll see what happens. The 10-year notes have exactly the same combination, but we did get a sell signal in the notes on the top of the move. Great. We are still short. You can see the green trade line moving up and down as we tick up and down, but it's not moving up and down all that fast. Certainly not like the E-mini. And okay, so far so good. No problems. Will it form the last shoulder low in October down in here? Stay tuned. Next, crude oil didn't quite test support, but the last time it got oversold, it was in the support area. So you get a rally and you get a retracement. Now, I don't think I'm going to abandon by any means my bearish expectations that soon it's going to make new lows again, eat into this yellow support area and drop below it. So obviously I'm bearish. This little bounce up 0.30 at the moment doesn't seem to be doing anything particularly important or spectacular. We are nowhere near overbought or oversold, so that's neutral territory. Okay, next, natural gas. Got overbought, stopped smack dab at resistance, but on Friday it just squeaked above it, basically closing at the top of resistance. And today it made a higher high, and it's up a little on the day, holding okay at the moment. I'm wondering, is this an upside breakout of the resistance area? My minimum upside objective, remember, on the double bottom formation, which is a pretty good one, and we did get a buy signal on the exact low day, August 28th, as well as two more after. So this upside objective still very viable, 3.111, give or take a little. Let's see if it can just pop up here real quick and meet my objective in the next few days. Next chart, heating oil. Oversold, turned around, no particular reversal, didn't quite get up to resistance, and pulled back a little. I have to give this a chance again to get up to resistance, but the long-term trend is obviously down. We don't seem to have any kind of a major bottom developing here so far. And the trend is your friend, to say the least. This buy signal actually did produce a small profit. Not sure, that was a small loss. I can see the red little dots there. That was great. That was okay. That signal was good. This one was good for a few days. Doesn't have to be for long. And that was fine. That was the top of the market. That's great. So no signal lately, but I think we can get a little more strength. But the trend longer term is down. Next, overbought conditions finally topped the market out on Thursday. Gold, silver, platinum, copper's got a new signal today, by the way. Big one. You'll see it in a minute. Beans, oil, meal, corn, wheat, cattle, hogs coming up in a moment. So gold simply got overbought and starting to pull its way back down. Probably the first downside objective would be about 25.64. Give or take a little. I'm going out a few more days. Yeah, at the line, put it that way. Don't have any reason to change the angle. And even if I did, it would be very small up or down. So that's about it. The trend is up. I thought it was going to be topping out. I got a great sell signal up here, and it lasted several days, almost a week, I think, before we took profits on that. At the turn of the market, that's good. Okay, silver got overbought and resistance. Even on Thursday, popped up quite a bit into resistance and closed below it. Dropped off on Friday, and we get a continued drop off again today. Silver's probably going to come down at least to 30 point, well, call it 30 flat, and challenge a little support in that area. But I can't rule out by any means, it's been going up and down in this range for a while now, getting back down to a little bit below 28. And we got platinum, sort of the same. Hit resistance, backed off and overbought, bottomed out, came up to resistance again, now dropping out quickly out of this resistance area. Unfortunately, not quite overbought and no reversal, therefore. Longer term picture in platinum is maybe a little bit ambiguous. I had a head and shoulder top that was working great, but this big move up here since the beginning of September was too much. So I erased the overall big pattern. A small head and shoulder did work just great, but that was by itself. The shoulder on that head, which we sold the top of the market, that's great. But if you're a long-term trader, it's even better. Even short-term traders, scalpers, as well as swing traders can take advantage of those signals. Next, we have the double bottom in high-grade copper. The minimum upside objective I measured a long time ago, weeks ago, and it was met almost exactly on the high on Thursday of last week. Went up a little bit more Friday, and today is a brand new, very large, vertical range-wise, bearish engulfing in overbought conditions, creating an ER sell signal. So this looks like the top of the copper market. The high today is not particularly interesting in terms of support and resistance, but you do have some lows back in here. The fact that it's just a huge trading range and a big signal, I love it. This could be the next move down at least to 3.99 and well below that. I don't think that necessarily is going to stop it. It's not been long since it's been down at 3.7, so 3.9 could easily give way, and we'll see a chunk lower. Next, soybeans, oil, meal, corn, wheat. Now, beans are overbought for a few days in a row, and this is one of the shortcomings of an oscillator, and RSI included, including my custom. So I'm basically waiting for a bearish engulfing red signal, which is exactly what we got here in overbought condition, just for a single day though. And it worked okay for a few days. Let's find one again, I hope. Today's high is higher than yesterday's. So if you were if this is weak enough before the close to get below Friday's low, you would have a bearish engulfing sell signal, but it doesn't look like it's going to do it. In fact, we're up on the day 2 and near the highs, and I don't see anything stopping it for the moment. I just think it's going to get a little more overbought, but I wouldn't go buying this. I'm looking for sell signals, expecting a big downside correction to at least 995 and maybe very possibly 957 next. Oil, bean oil, sell signal on the high of the market last Thursday. Great. Dropped off sharply on Friday, coming back a little bit today. Nothing wrong with that. Remember, we might get an ER3 filled around the middle of the range of the signal day, which was last Thursday. And if it does hit those prices, I'll make sure I'm running the ER3 signal, which I don't have running right now. That's why you don't see a little red line there, right about there somewhere. It's okay. So far, the signal's great. Next, we've got meal, new highs by a chunk, even through resistance on Friday. And we have follow through. It's up a little bit at the moment, not much, but at least it's not reversing completely and dropping down a lot. Now, that may very well happen in the next couple of days, but so far, the day after the breakout normally is, some kind of a follow through, and maybe for a couple of days as well as one. So far, so good. I wouldn't be surprised if it popped all the way up to, say, 352 and a half ish before it retraced. But it's overbought. Don't go buying stuff that's overbought. Look to buy a put if they're available, or a sell signal of some sort. Next, we got corn, oversold condition, but way back on August 27th. So throughout September, it's moved up. And today, we have some decent upside bullish follow through. In a resistance area, it stopped a little bit into it the last couple of weeks, but we never had any downside follow through. Resistance simply flattened out the top. The bottoms are still rising, and today we pushed through the top, still in resistance. So I am looking for something like 446, but the bear market hasn't changed. I would be looking for sell signals relatively soon because we're starting to get overbought now, today. RSI actually did hit, what was it, 75, probably in small number. 7504. Oh, yeah, tiny number, but 75 plus. That's it. Overbought, but barely. So up a little bit more, then a retracement. Watch for sell signals. Wheat, neutral RSI, sideways trading range, was the high on Thursday, important to a formation of some sort. I'm going to reserve comment. We're up today, 7.25. No particular indication it's going to break down and break this yellow line, which, the angle of which it might give it away, neckline. But anyway, we'll see if this works out in a bearish form. I'm not saying it's going to yet. I'm just aware of it. Meanwhile, neutral to probably a little bit higher, 616. Next, overbought in resistance, classic situation. At one time during the day, there was a bearish engulfing going on, but the close on Thursday of last week was too strong, eliminated the signal, and we have a little bit more follow through and resistance and overbought still on Friday. Today, we're backing up a little bit. Can't tell. This could be the start of something bearish. Not very sure about that. Keep your mouth shut if you don't know what to say about cattle. Hogs had a bearish engulfing on Friday. Great. We were overbought a couple of days earlier, and there is a double top I have been talking about. The minimum downside objective 65.2 is not yet triggered. That needs a close below 70.45. That'll trigger the downside objective at 65.25. Meanwhile, the sell signal implies it's going to happen. Today, we're up just a little. The high is almost exactly, but a little bit shy of the retracement new short sell price for ER3. So if we had gone up like 3 more ticks, I think, we would be short at the high of the day, but missed. Sometimes you miss, sometimes you don't. Next, back to the E-mini. What's it doing? Nothing. Look at this. Negative a moment ago. It was flat. You guys have a great day. Profitable trading to you.